We need to talk about the greatest redemption arc in gaming history. And it didn't even happen in a video game. When Cyberpunk 2077 launched, it was a glitchy disaster that shattered CD Projekt Red's reputation. But then, Studio Trigger stepped in. They didn't just make a good anime. They single-handedly resurrected a dead franchise and made millions of players reinstall a game they swore they hated.
Inside my head, crashing down and filled with dread, destruction grinding in my mind, memories rewinding into pride.
Welcome to Night City, a neon-soaked dystopia where mega corporations rule and human life is the cheapest currency on the market. Meet David Martinez, a broke street kid who loses everything in a senseless gang shootout, left with no money and no future. He makes a desperate choice. He installs military-grade cyberware into his own spine, transforming himself into an Edgerunner black market mercenary. From there, it's a high-octane descent into the criminal underworld. He joins a crew of chaotic cyberpunks, including the enigmatic netrunner, Lucy, and tries to build a legend before the city grinds him to dust. What Studio Trigger did here is nothing short of miraculous. They took the explosive, colorful sakuga they're known for in Kill la Kill and injected it straight into Night City's veins. The color theory alone is insane. Trigger uses harsh, vibrating neon palettes, blinding yellows, and sickly greens to visually represent the overstimulation of the cyberpunk world. But the real genius is how they handle cyberpsychosis. In the game, it's just a lore reason to fight crazy men here. It's a terrifying, tragic allegory for real-world burnout and societal pressure. David keeps upgrading his body, pushing past his human limits just to survive in a capitalist loot grinder, knowing full well it's destroying his mind. It's the ultimate subversion of shonen. David thinks he has plot armor, that he's built different, but Night City doesn't care about main character energy. And we have to talk about the soundtrack. Licensing Franz Ferdinand's This Fire for the Op was a masterstroke, but it's Rosa Walton's I Really Want to Stay at Your House that weaponizes the tears. They tied that specific pop track to David and Lucy's most intimate, emotional moments. By the finale, hearing just the first few synth notes of that song is enough to trigger actual PTSD for the viewers. It's an auditory gut punch that elevates the tragedy to a masterclass level. If you look at my anime list and Reddit's or anime, the consensus is staggeringly unified. Edgerunners didn't just win Anime of the Year at the Crunchyroll Awards. It won the hearts of both hardcore otakus and casual gamers. It sits comfortably at an 8.6 on Mal, which is incredibly high for a video game adaptation. Sure, you'll find a few elitists on Twitter complaining that the pacing in the second half is a bit rushed, but the overwhelming majority agree that the relentless, breakneck speed is exactly the point. It perfectly mirrors David's tragic, accelerated sprint toward the edge. The fan base considers it an absolute modern classic. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is a brutal, beautiful masterpiece that hits harder than a sandavistan to the jaw. It completely rewrote the blueprint for how video game adaptations should be handled, proving that a studio with genuine passion can resurrect a tarnished IP. It's a gorgeous, tragic supernova of an anime that demands to be experienced. If you haven't watched it yet, clear your weekend and prepare to have your heart completely shattered. I'm giving Cyberpunk Edgerunners an easy, undeniable Sapul out of 10. See you in the major leagues.
glitching.